By the end of this video, I hope to have made you a commander deck building master, able to find the specific card, the most perfect piece to fit any situation that comes up while you are building your commander decks. We're going to utilize 3 websites, Scryfall, Moxfield, and EDHREC, to build the perfect deck and win before we even sit down at the table. Let's jump over and take a look at Scryfall. Scryfall is a powerful Magic the Gathering card search, but I think most of you have just been using it to look at new spoilers as they come out. I'm going to start off by showing you a few of the main searches that I use on a daily basis when I'm deck building or putting together videos, and then towards the end I'll show you how we can combine a bunch of searches and sort of put it all together to find that specific perfect card that you're looking for. Hello and welcome to the day, by the way. My name is Joel. You've stumbled onto Jake and Joel Are Magic. We cover all things Magic the Gathering on the YouTube channel, and if you like this video, by the end of it, clicking that like button. Think about it throughout the video. Don't do it yet. That really helps us out if you do. So with Scryfall, obviously we can start with name. If we just want to look up all cards that have the word Atraxa in them, we can search Atraxa and it'll find them for us. We can also do that with color. We say C:(red), and this is going to find all cards in the history of the game where the color is greater than or equal to red. So it's at least red. You will get, as you can see with the Sorry Captain, some cards that are arena only, and some cards that have expanded color identities. Same here with Abaddon the Despoiler having at least red in its casting cost. We can also do combinations of colors. Color: red green. That's going to do the same thing, but colors greater than or equal to green red. Now, if we wanted to find cards, say we're building a Groll commander, and we want to find cards that are only red and green, both equal to green and red, we can search that up with equal to as well. You can use comparison expressions in these, so you can say color is greater than or equal to red, green, white, and that'll show us all cards that have at least green, red, white in their identity, and some may even have additional colors like Omnath, Locus of Creation here, and any combination of that to achieve the exact color combo or lack thereof that you're looking for. Also, when you're searching colors, you can search just by your commander's identity. If we are building a red, green, and white commander, we can just say commander: red, green, white, and it will only return cards that are fit for our commander's color identity. You can also do a very similar thing with ID: let's say blue, black, blue, red here. You can look up cards specifically that are blue, black, and red color identity for your commander decks. It's worth noting that on Scryfall, you can also use guild names, color Rakdos, to return cards that are greater than or equal to Rakdos if you're using the : or if you use equals, colors that are exactly Rakdos. This also works for the shards. You can say color equals Bant, and it'll only return cards that are exactly the Bant identity if we're using equals, or will be in the ID of our commander if we type ID: Bant, and it'll show us all the cards that fulfill that color identity. Now, I know as I'm showing some of these examples, you're seeing cards like this card here that aren't legal in commander, cards that are arena only versions of those. We're going to get to those when we get to format and legality in just a second. Next, I want to talk about types on Scryfall. You can obviously just type in creature, type, creature, and it'll show you all of the cards in the game that fulfill the creature type. You can also do this with sorcery, instant, all of these types, just very basic across the board to return exactly cards that equal this type, sorcery in this case. Note, this also works for type legendary. This will return all legendary anything, whether it's permanent or spell. And you can also do this for creature types as well. So if you want to look up all of the humans in MTG, type human will return you 3,203 cards. So far, we've looked at C for color expressions, or ID or commander: to look up different colors. We've looked at types as well, and this is all really going to start being incredible when we combine a bunch of these conditions. Next, I want to look at oracle text though. If you type in O:, you're going to specifically be looking for words that are inside the text box on the cards themselves. So if you're building a Madness commander and you type in O:madness, that's going to return any card that says the word Madness on it. Now, sometimes you won't return a card that necessarily has that Madness ability because it's specifically looking for the word. Look at Brink of Madness right here. During your upkeep, if you have no cards in hand, sacrifice Brink of Madness, and that fulfills our search term. So you want to make sure as you're looking that you do see that it's not a perfect system, but it can be narrowed down enough to give you exactly what you need. You can put quotes around words in this search. So O enters the battlefield tapped. This is going to return anything that has in its Oracle text enters the battlefield tapped. You can also use a little tilde here, and this works throughout the website. If you use a tilde here, it sort of takes the place as the name of the card, and so it looks for Oracle text that has Aeon Engine enters the battlefield tapped as an example. It's looking for the name of the exact card in the exact Oracle text as well, so you know you're returning cards that specifically themselves enter the battlefield tapped and don't have anything to do with just, other things entering the battlefield tapped. You can also search Oracle text with keyword. Keyword : is a usable search on the website. Keyword trample will search up all of the cards that have trample in the Oracle text. So then let's start here with format. And obviously this is aimed at Commander players, but you can use this search for any format. But I always include legal : Commander in my searches. That is going to take out cards like Asari Captain that you saw and only show us the legal version for the format Commander. It's just something I always include in my searches, and you probably want to do as well, just to make sure you're not returning any only arena cards or any kind of illegal cards, stuff like that. This is going to return you only one of the 24,479,000 cards that are legal in Commander. We talked a little bit about comparison expressions, greater than, equal to, stuff like this, but you can also use negating commands as well. So if we want to look up cards that are legal in Commander but not reserved, we're going to type minus reserved cards, and that's going to be a search for is reserved. And so we're going to say minus, and you see our number went down to 23,935 cards, where that's legal in Commander and the cards aren't on the reserve list. You can also do this color red, but we don't want color green. This is going to return us all of the cards where we have at least red in it, but there's absolutely no green in it at all. So just be aware that you can put a minus in front of most of these search terms that we're using to exclude stuff as well, and that's a really helpful way of finding what we're looking for. Let's update this just to say legal for Commander, so we're only sorting through legal Commander cards. But let's talk about sorting. You see a little drop-down box here, and you can also type in sort and however you want it to be sorted. But the drop-down box will let you find a bunch of different ways of sorting the groups that you do search for and find to find that exact card that you want. So you could sort all of these cards that are red but definitely not green by rarity. We could search all of these by price USD to see, we'd know if we put minus is reserved on here, none of them are driven price-wise by being just on the reserve list. And so you've got a bunch of scarce plays there, but you can see the most expensive cards popping up. And then you're able to go, okay, why is this expensive? Is this expensive because it's really good in Commander in the case of Dockside Extortionist? Or is it expensive because it's really good in other formats like Fury? Or it's really good in being completely scarce, like Barbarian General here from Portal 3 Kingdoms. Don't even get me started on Portal 3 Kingdoms cards. Once you've searched for something, whether it's a set, let's look through the Double Masters 2022 cards. We can always go in here and then sort them by USD. That's to sort them by price, and we can see what the most expensive cards are in the set. We can sort them by EDHREC rank to see where they fall out as far as highly Commander played cards. Since I mentioned it, this video is mainly about Scryfall, but we do use data from EDHREC a lot. EDHREC compiles a ton of different deck building websites all across the internet to have an aggregate that we can look at and get data from. So you will see 10,959 decks, 10,794 decks. This website, EDHREC, keeps track of all of this data across all of these different deck building websites to see where trends are, to see where must-play cards fall for different commanders. I only want to tell you about this to give you some sort of point of reference when we sort by EDHREC rank. You can see in Double Masters 2022, Rampant Growth, Path to Exile, Chaos Warp, Smothering Tithe, highly played commander cards because we sorted by EDHREC rank. It's just a good sort to make sure you haven't forgotten something, or you just want to see, once you've got a really specific search going, if there are any widely played EDHREC ranked cards in that search. Say you're trying to just build soldiers. You just want to build soldier creature type commander deck. We search type soldier and we get 831 cards. But without any color identity or anything like that, if we just sort it by EDHREC rank, it's immediately going to show us the top played soldiers in Commander based on another website's incredible data collection. So make sure that as a Commander deck builder, you just know that sorting by EDHREC is a great way to at least compare your choices to some of the most widely played cards for whatever you're searching for. Past that, I really do like to use Sort USD a lot. Sometimes you'll get, like you see right here, cards that are just ridiculously scarce. Type Soldier Sort USD. A lot of times I find myself, especially when I'm searching older commander cards for playability, I'll just go minus set PTK, and that'll at least remove a little bit of the scarce plays. You can see some promo versions of PTK cards here and a Secret Lair card, but you can see now as we're down to our second row, we're like, okay, maybe we should look at Recruiter of the Guard, Ranger Captain of AO, stuff like that. The USD can drive some card prices based on them being really strong commander cards, so it might just be another way you want to sort as you're searching for your specific card. The website has way more advanced features built in as well, but those are the most often search terms that I use. Let's put a couple of them together and you can see how we can get really specific. So let's start by saying we specifically want to find a commander for a deck that is an equipment strategy deck, and it was created last year, brand new, unique print last year. We stopped playing maybe last year, but we want to catch up and we like equipment decks. So let's see what new commanders were released specifically last year. So we're going to go is commander. That's going to only return cards that can legally be the commander of your deck. We're also just going to throw in the terms game paper. This is one that I like to throw in. You should probably add to your typical searches for commander cards, because that's only going to show us cards that are available as paper cards, not, MTG or arena cards. We're going to get rid of all of those by just saying game paper. We're also going to look in the Oracle text for equipment. That keyword, O:, is going to search for the keyword equipment for us. Then we're going to search the year 2022. Additionally, on this search, we want cards that are not reprints. So we're going to use a negating clause. Minus is reprint. Sets like Double Masters, sets like Modern Masters, Commander Legends, these reprint sets exist that will print new cards that are reprints in a given year, but we want unique cards that were not reprints, brand new 2022 commanders for our equipment decks. So we do that search and we return 6 cards where the cards can be your commander, is commander, and the card is available on paper, game paper, and the text includes equipment, Oracle text equipment, and the release year equals 2022, and the cards aren't reprints. That gives us Aster, Shishiro, Danitha, Soliflora, Stang, and Tetsuo as our options for an equipment commander. So we found the commander that we want to play, but now we want to find some equipments or maybe even some auras that provide ward as a keyword. Ward has been a fantastic new ability added to the game in recent years, and obviously we're already building an equipment deck, but we're so excited about ward we can find it on auras as well. So what we would do is search Oracle text first for the word ward. Then we would also use a parentheses expression to include type aura or type equipment. That's going to find either auras or equipments that have that word on them. And then we're also going to use game paper, and we're going to take ward out of the title of the cards because we're specifically searching for the keyword ability ward on the card itself. So then we would find 9 cards where the text includes ward and the type includes aura or the card types include equipment, and the card is available on paper and the name excludes ward, because that's going to show us Chains of Custody, enchanted creature has ward 2. Combat Research, as long as enchanted creature's legendary, it gets +1/+1 and has ward 1. We found some equipment as well for our commander. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has ward 1. So we have found cards with this search that grant that ability to our creatures. We can use these searches on Scryfall to not only find the perfect card for our deck as far as the game strategy goes, like giving our creatures ward, but we can find the exact print that we want. So we're going to look at Path to Exile, because we know we're going to put Path to Exile in this deck, and we're going to look up its unique prints, prints. That is going to give us every single copy of Path to Exile that has ever been printed in any treatment, so that we can look through and customize our commander deck exactly like we want to. Oh, nice. I was wanting to build a Gideon deck. Let's get the Gideon Path to Exile into that deck stat. Let's take that customization out another step and look up the most expensive unique print of any given card. Let's try counterspells. So we're going to go format commander. We're going to look up the most blinging possible counterspell that you can possibly find to take down your opponents with. Really make the salt flow. Type instant, obviously. We want to search the oracle text for counter and spell so that we know we're countering that spell and not searching for an instant that like puts counters on targets. So we want both counter and spell in there. We're going to sort these by USD just in advance. And again, I want to use that unique prints so that we can see the actual most expensive versions. So we look at Counterspell right here at the top, the limited edition beta Counterspell by Mark Poole. Yeah, it's the most expensive one. Then we've got a Judge gift card version of Force of Will. And so you can look on here and go, now not only do I know that I'm going to be running Counterspell and Force of Will to make them cry, I also get to go Force of Will. By the way, this is the most expensive Force of Will that exists. What up? For the very last example, let me give you something practical that you can just sort of copy paste and use on your own. So one of my commander decks is Prosh. I have a lot of commander decks, as do most of you, and I can't always keep tabs on every new card that's getting printed that might need to be considered for them. I haven't played Prosh in a couple of years and I want to update it. I'm going to get Scryfall to at least start my journey there. So we're going to go with, we know the commander is red, green, and black. Prosh comes in and likes to eat things. So we're going to search all of the oracle text on the cards that we want to find for when tilde it. So that'll just take the place of its name. When it dies, draw. So we're going to find even more cards that have death triggers so Prosh can eat them, even more card draw in this deck. Obviously, we want it to be in game paper because these are tabletop cards. We're looking for creatures because we just want to play creatures onto the battlefield, let Prosh eat them up. We're going to sort by CMC because we're sweaty little goblins and we want all of our mana curve to be as low as it possibly can be. And like I said, we already know what came before. So we're going to look in year 2022 or year 2021 to find these cards. We're also going to include the clause minus is reprint because we don't want cards that were reprinted. We want brand new cards that might have a place in the deck. So we have got 18 cards with the color identities less than or equal to black, green, red. And the text includes win. The text includes the name of that card and dies and draw. And the cards available in paper and the card types include creature. And the release year is 2022 or 2021. And it is not a reprint. So we see cards like Novice Occultist. We've got a card here that when it dies, you draw a card, lose a life. Nice. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Gurgling Anointer. That might be a card that we want to consider. Whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking. That's another potential. But you can see how we can search very specifically for what our commander does to go and potentially find new pieces for that deck. I showed you Scryfall and EDHREC, but I want to show you Moxfield. Moxfield is a deck building website. This is going to be an example deck that we are building. We're going to use Jared Carthalion because it's a 5-color commander here. We're going to create it there and you've got your commander here. Now you can search and add cards right here. You can just type in Soul Ring, it'll pop it up. Boom, you've added it to the deck. Command Tower, boom, it searches it up. Click, you've added it to your deck. This is a great deck building website that I may make another video just kind of covering in depth, but you should know that the search here is powered by Scryfall. So we can look up, type sorcery. We want the oracle text to say exile target enchantment. Let's say Johnny won't stop playing his enchantment decks. This is going to automatically only include cards that are legal for the commander you've chosen. Obviously, we have chosen a 5-color commander, so it's going to return a lot of results. But as you can see now, we have a lot of options for exiling enchantments, and from here you click right there and it adds it to your deck automatically. Boom, Fade into Antiquity. We did it, everybody. We are the first people to add Fade into Antiquity to our commander decks. Jake and I are live every Wednesday on the channel. If you want to come and hang out, jump into the conversations that we're having over there. I'm always using Scryfall on those streams, and people are always asking me how I'm searching for different things, and so I kind of wanted to make a starter video to show you some of the basic functionality that I use to get out of Scryfall and use this website at a little higher level than most people use it. Other than that, I'm going to show you 2 options for videos of ours that you might want to watch. You should probably click on one.
Highest level of gratitude to our patrons who power the channel through Patreon. Check out the Patreon link in the description to learn about monthly giveaways, VIP Discord access, and even our official playmat.